somebody said they had a particular condition or they had a particular issue. Instead of doing the Freudian thing of saying, well, where does that come from? What thing in your past created a trauma that would cause that to manifest today? He would ask, rather, what purpose does it serve? You might think, God, that's a really weird way of doing psychoanalysis. So somebody shows up with anxiety or a fear of buttons or a fear of clowns or, whatever it is, and you ask, what purpose does it serve? The implication is that what we do, whether it's an unconscious doing or a conscious doing, it serves a function. It's goal-oriented in some way. Either it makes us safer or it moves us towards something that we want. It takes us away from danger and away from pain, or it moves us towards pleasure or status or some other desirable outcome. So that's the theme for today, to consider in your life, the challenges in your life and the things that you're dealing with, do they serve a purpose? The things that you don't want there in your life, or you say you don't want in your life, do they protect you from something? If somebody said to me, there's something in my life that I do and I want to give it up, and I've tried to give it up and I've been to therapy and I tried this modality, that modality, and nothing worked, I would ask them, what do you gain by keeping the thing that you say you do not want? And if you lost that thing, or you overcame that addiction, or you stopped doing that thing, what would you lose? Which is a similar theme. It's not the same question, it won't lead to the same answers, but it's thematically similar. And it suggests that what we do is purpose-driven. If there's something the person wants to give up, and they're perfectly rational, they're reasonably intelligent, and they're capable of giving it up, but they don't, we need to assume that the problem is not conscious, that the unconscious is keeping them safe from something. The unconscious could be stopping them from overcoming that addiction, because the unconscious is concerned that if they overcome that addiction, the person would be exposed to some other threat or some other danger. So it can be useful to ask the question, what does this negative pattern of behavior keep you safe from? Very often people are being kept safe from success. They're being kept safe from growth. They're being kept safe from growing. And sometimes they're being kept safe from grieving. A tremendous amount of the things that we do are there to stop from feeling not just pain, but grief specifically. It has been said by far brighter minds than mine many times before I was born that we as a culture have lost the skill of grieving. We've lost the permission to grieve. We don't have a culturally accepted display of sadness, of grief. Grieving is essential to growth. Letting go of that which was is essential to having new things in the future. Sometimes I wonder, and I include myself in this question, is what stops us from moving forward in the way that we could just the fact that we won't let go of the toys from yesterday, the coping mechanisms from yesterday, the addictions from yesterday, even the thoughts from yesterday? I'm quite sure I have some precious little believies that I'm holding on to that got me through bad times before, and they're like a life raft. They're like a, what's the thing, the circle that you put around yourself when you're drowning? The ring of safety, it's called in English. What's it called in Czech? No, we don't know what it is in Czech. We don't know what it is in English. The ring of life, it's called. When you're drowning, you say, quickly, throw me the ring of life. I can't remember what it is. But that thing, you hold on to it with the grip of somebody who thinks that if they let it go, they're going to die. It's the lack of letting go of sometimes it's not just sadness and pain from the past. It's good things from the past. Even those things need to be let go of so that we can move forward into the future. So asking these questions, I think, has value. What is the purpose of this behavior? So it's a reframe in neurolinguistic programming terms. You say, I'm anxious about that. What purpose is served by you being anxious about that thing, or whatever the negative experience is? And then thematically similar but asked another way, as I say, I took this from Richard Bandler, what would you lose if you let go of that negative pattern of behavior? Or the way he would say it is, what are you going to do with all your free time if you're not a coke addict anymore, if you're not depressed anymore? What are you going to do instead? So it's good to know, what is it holding us, what is it keeping us away from? Could be grieving, could be that the unconscious just thinks that we'd be safer in some way, could be success, fear of exposure, fear of growth. I think that's a real problem. Fear of maturation, fear of growth, fear of aging, of moving forward, because it takes, and this is another great point from Adler, courage. Courage. One of the Adlerian principles was to see where in the human system of somebody who was looking at, when they had a problem, where is there a lack of courage? It takes courage to live. It takes courage to be a human. It takes courage to grow and move forward into the future as well. I'll leave you with that thought. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time and attention today, and I look forward to speaking to you again tomorrow. Cheers.